and I have a life of my own, and I have a church responsibility, and I have all this other stuff. It gets tough, but is there time to pray? And the reality is, yes. It's not only time, it makes the other stuff that we have to do in life make sense. It makes the other stuff that we have to do in life go smoothly or even at times we find ourselves in challenge because we've spent time with the Father. The Holy Spirit has spoken to our soul. We can deal with challenges in a whole different way. So are we constant? He says, at all times. It's an exercise, an analogy that I share. When we do our conferences, I have this exercise. I have people come up and hit table tennis. And it's called tennis talk, because that's the way we normally talk to each other. One person says something, just like in a tennis match, somebody's got to score a point to win. So you say something, I got to say something back. And then you say something, and we're hitting zingers back and forth over the net. That's how we normally talk to people. You said something, oh, I can't let that stand. I got something to say about that. I didn't like the way that was said. They haven't even stopped talking yet, and we're already back on because we got to score a point. But there's this relationship in Judges chapter 13 of this man named Manoah and his wife, whose name is unknown. I share this with every couple probably for the last 10 or 12 years on communication. And the idea here is that there's this difference of tennis talk. That here's a husband and wife who hear from the Lord. She hears from the Lord about this child she's going to have, how to raise the child, even though she's unable to have children. She goes and tells her husband, what does her husband do? And I ask every couple that. And I get some great answers. Oh, I would say, oh, that's not going to happen. And I'll set it up to couples this way. I'll say, okay, your husband or wife comes home and says, hey, get all your things together, we're moving to Alaska. They say, oh, well, wait a minute, let's talk about that for a second. Or they say, let's get everything together, I got the job of a lifetime, we're moving to Idaho. The husband will say, wait a minute, Idaho? I don't have any family in Idaho, we're not moving to Idaho. And the point that we're trying to make in that exercise, in that conversation, is that too often when we talk, we jump back in with our expectation or our thought, but the Bible tells us that we're to be waiting on the Lord. Because the response in Judges chapter 13 of this man named Manoah is that when his wife told him that they were going to have a child, knowing that they couldn't have children, rather than jump back at his wife, he said, Lord, teach us what to do. Model for us. So when we communicate, when we're in relationship, we should be searching the Lord at all times. When the news is shocking, Lord, teach us what to do. When we're caught off guard by a comment by a friend that didn't seem very friendly, Lord, be with us, be with me, teach me what to do. Show me how to respond to that. Our minds are always engaged in the Lord. And I'll joke around with couples and I'll say, it's not the idea. Because sometimes people will say, I would like a Snickers bar. You say, wait a minute, I need to go up on a mountain and search the Lord for that. No, that's not what we're talking about. But that our mind is always engaged. Even now, as I'm sharing with you, I'm saying, okay, God, what next? Where do you want me to say next? Should I say this? Should I back off here? Should I go here? Our minds have to always be engaged at all times. That is praying in the Spirit. That there's never a time that we speak without thinking about God and what God would have us to say. And for many of us, most and probably even all of us, we have to be retrained. Because we just say whatever comes to mind. You said what to me? Oh no, that's not going to stand. I have to defend myself. Lord, teach me what to say.